Hi friends, I'm here with a yoga offering. As always, please go at your own pace, rest whenever you need to. Feel free to skip things or change things if they're not working for you today, and just do what feels right for your body. So let's start on our backs. You can come into a Shavasana type position. Go ahead and spread out. Make whatever adjustments you need to so that you're relaxing back into the floor. You can either close your eyes or take a soft gaze up towards the ceiling and start to slow down your breath. And just notice where your attention is. And if you notice that it has wandered onto something else, the moment you notice, invite yourself back. See if you can get curious about what you're feeling in your body right now, in this pose, in this shape. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed or open them as it's useful for you throughout your practice. Let's begin by sliding arms overhead. Stretch out long through your arms and legs. You might try reaching a little more through one side or the other, like a big yawn. And then interlace your fingers, press out through your palms, flex your feet, getting as long as possible through the whole backside. And then release, bring your right knee to your chest. Give that knee a good squeeze in and check that your shoulders are dropped. The chin is dropped so the back of the neck is still long. And then straighten your right leg up towards the ceiling, holding somewhere behind your leg. Flex and point your foot a few times. Circle your ankle a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. Bend your knee in, open your knee out to the right and straighten part way or all the way out to the side, grounding down through the back of the left leg. And then bend your right knee and bring it across for a spinal twist. Open out through the right arm, let your knee and shoulder reach away from one another. And then staying in your twist, try straightening your right leg on a low diagonal, right arm on a high diagonal. And then release, roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in, circle or rock. And then grab hold of just the left knee, drop the right leg long, squeeze that knee in. And then straighten the left leg up, flex and point your foot a few times. Circle your ankle a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. Bend your knee back in, open your knee out to the left, and then straighten part way or all the way out to the side, grounding down through the back of the right leg. Bend your knee, bring it across, spinal twist. First with a bent knee. And then straighten the left leg on a low diagonal, left arm on a high diagonal. And then release, roll back onto your back. Bring both knees in. Again, a little circle or rock. We'll drop the feet to the floor, getting set up for a little bit of core work. Start by drawing the belly in, pressing the lower back down from the inside. Interlace fingers behind the head. Exhale, lift head and chest up. Inhale, release down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Up. And down. Up. And down. Up. And down. Let's take two more. Last one. Release down and then send your right leg up. Exhale, head up towards your leg. Inhale, head down. Up. And down. Up. And down. Up. And down. One more. Release and switch. Left leg high. Exhale, head up. Inhale, head down. Up. And down. Up. And down. Up. And down. One more. Release and switch again. This time, take your left arm across. Each time you exhale, reach a little further across. And keep relaxing your face as you do this. One more. Release and switch again. Last set, left leg high, right arm across. One more. And then release. Stretch long through your arms and legs. Bring your knees back in, another little circle or rock. And then make your way up to sitting. Let's come all the way forward into a high push-up position. We'll set the hands near the front of the mat. Step the feet back. Feel the connection between your head and your heels. Whole body in a straight long line. Shift your weight forward to lower down, low push-up, and then come into your back bend. This could be low or high, cobra or up dog. Feeling how this is right now. And then back to down dog when you're ready, hips high. Take your time. You may want to pedal out the feet a little bit or shift your hips side to side. And then drop your knees and sink back to child's pose, releasing hips to the heels, forehead to the floor. With arms out in front of you, walk your hands over to the left, and then pull back through your right hip, stretching right side a little more. Through center and over to the other side. Pull back through the left hip, stretching left side a bit more. Come back to center. Let's come up through table, come back through down dog, and walk your hands and feet towards one another, and let's hang in ragdoll. Feet hip width apart, parallel. You can bend your knees a little or a lot. You might take a sway or shake out here. Bend your knees a little more. Slowly roll up, coming all the way up to standing, one vertebrae at a time, stacking up. We'll step up to the front of the mat, come into mountain pose, Tadasana. Hands together at the heart, feet can be together or apart. Slow down your breath. We'll take a full A series sun salutation. Next, inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. Let's take 5 deep breaths, whether that's in down dog or child's pose or sitting or some other neutral shape, feeling where you are. Last breath here. Come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Again, inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. This time from down dog, take your right leg up, bend your knee in, and start circling this bent right knee, making the biggest circle possible for your hip joint. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, send it a little higher, and then bring your right knee towards your right upper arm. Extend it up and back. Take it across towards left upper arm. Reach it up and back. Now right towards the center of your chest. Extend it up and back. Big step forward. High lunge. Inhale, arms up. Settle in, sink low. Each in-breath, more space and length. Each out-breath, more grounding. Last breath here. Tip forward, standing splits, hands to the floor or to a couple of blocks. We'll do this with hips square, with the upper body letting go like ragdoll. Last breath. Step back. Warrior one. Inhale, arms up. Settle in. Deep bend in the front leg, straight long back leg. Last breath here. Release, make your way to down dog. You might take a vinyasa, high to low push-up, up dog or cobra to down dog. You could also just step back or take some other movement. Use your transitions to take good care of yourself. When you're ready, left leg sweeps up. Bend your knee in and start circling. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight. And then bring your left knee towards left upper arm. Extend it up and back. Take it across towards right upper arm. Reach it up and back. And right towards the center of your chest. Extend it up and back. Big step forward. High lunge, inhale, arms up. Sink low. One more breath here. Tip forward. Standing splits, hands to the floor or to a couple of blocks. Square off the hips as best you can. Reach that back leg longer. Last breath. Step back. Warrior one. One more breath here. Release. Make your way to down dog. Feeling what you are doing. And then settle into a good rest, whether that's down dog or some other neutral shape. Last breath here. Come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Let's bend the knees and come into chair, Utkatasana. Hips low, head high, shoulders low, fingers high. One more breath. Release, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. Right leg sweeps up. One breath. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Warrior three, shift forward and find your balance. You can modify or adjust however you need to. Feel where you are. Last breath here. Step back. Warrior one, one breath. Release through a vinyasa or your movement transition. Left leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Warrior three. Last breath. Step back. Warrior one. Release. Make your way back to down dog. And then back to a good rest. Last breath here. Let's come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, arms up, inhale, chair. Exhale, straighten. Again, inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. Back to down dog. Right leg sweeps high. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Warrior 3, 1 breath. Step back, warrior 1. From here, open out, warrior 2. Flip the right palm to face the ceiling, reverse warrior 2. Straighten the front leg, triangle. Let's pull back up to standing. Come through warrior 2 and into extended side angle. Left arm rotates and comes overhead, long diagonal through the whole left side. Take whatever arm position works for you, so if there's a different variation you want to take, you're welcome. One more breath here. Let's release, hands to the floor, make your way back to down dog. You might take a vinyasa, you might move in some other way. When you're ready, from down dog, left leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Warrior 3, 1 breath. Step back, warrior 1. Open out, warrior 2. Flip the left palm, reverse warrior. Straighten the front leg, triangle. Pull up to standing, come through warrior 2 and into extended side angle. Right arm rotates, comes overhead, finding that long diagonal line. Last breath. Release. Make your way to down dog. And then back to a good rest. Letting go. Let's come back through down dog. Right leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Come into a twist. Left elbow cross to the outside of the right knee. Work the palms towards the center of the chest. If there's a different variation of this you would prefer, you're welcome. You could drop the back knee and do a low lunge. You could extend your arms or bind them. Last breath here. Release, hands to the floor or to blocks if you have them. You're going to drop the back knee. If you want to pat it, you're welcome to grab a blanket or cushion. Let's come to a hamstring stretch. Inch the front foot forward, flex the toes back, going in the direction of hips square, in the direction of a flat back, in the direction of folding. And if you want to go in the direction of splits, Hanumanasana, you could slide that front heel further forward. As you go in each of these directions, you meet your edge. And that will look different for different bodies. It shouldn't be otherwise. We're not trying to create shapes, but more exploring the limits of this particular body right now. If you did slide forward, slide your way back to release. Bring both hands to the inside, turn out through the right foot, and come down to lizard pose, either on the elbows or on blocks. And you might shift your weight a little more one way or the other way. If you do want to add a quad stretch to this, you could bend the back leg, reach for it, and draw it in. If you were holding the back foot, you can let it go and make your way back to down dog, however you get there. So it might be a vinyasa, could be some other movement. Just feeling what you are doing. From down dog, left leg sweeps up, step forward, high lunge, arms up. Come into a twist here, something similar to what you did on the first side. Last breath. Release. Hands to the floor or to your blocks. Drop the back knee. Inch the front foot forward. Flex the toes back. Hamstring stretch with the option of splits, Hanumanasana. And I would really like to emphasize that as we explore our limits, it may be useful to think about those limits changing as a side benefit, not as the goal. For me, the goal is, can I experience ease in being, in my body, in my life, no matter what? So using each of these shapes as just an opportunity to practice being with what is. How about now as I encounter this limit? How about now as I encounter uncertainty or discomfort or whatever the pose is stirring up? So as I go towards my limits, there's a good chance they'll shift or change, but not guaranteed, and slow and subtle is that change usually. So seeing if we can also find freedom in expanding our capacity to be with ourselves as we are. If you did slide forward, slide your way back. Bring both hands to the inside, turn out through the left foot, and then shift your weight forward, coming into lizard pose. If you did add a quad stretch on the other side, you might add one again. And of course, it feels really good to go towards something and get it, to want something to change and having it change. That feels awesome. So we're not going to stop trying to do that, but you may have noticed, I've definitely noticed, I don't always get what I want. And believe me, I do try. So another path to freedom, happiness, peace is the superpower of letting go of wanting. So I might have an expectation or an intention, and I go towards that, and then can I surrender to the results as they are, just like they are? Not always easy. That's why we practice. Let's release. Make our way back the down dog. Let's come all the way through to sitting. So I'd like to finish with a supported fish. If you have props, they are useful for supported fish. Props are necessary, they don't have to be yoga props. If you have a couple blocks, that could be good. If you don't have blocks, you might look around and see what could you use. A couple books with a blanket over it, rolled up blanket, rolled up yoga mat, soup can with a towel on it. Something is going to go behind the upper back. And depending on how high that thing is, something else might want to support the head so that the back of the neck is nice and long. And different bodies need different heights, different firmness. So the higher and harder the thing is, probably the more intense it will be. So you can check out for yourself, do you like this intensity? Is it too much, too little? If you want less, go softer or lower. If you want more, go higher or harder. Arms can be overhead or out to the side. Legs can be bent or straight. If this is a new pose for you, be patient. It may take some adjusting to find how this works. I love this pose. For me, it's a counter stretch to sitting at a computer. It's a counter stretch to hunching forward. And instead of the effort that a lot of other back bends require, the main thing we're doing here is surrendering, letting go. Almost no effort is required. How much can you release? Letting the pull of gravity do the work for you. You are just melting over your props. And if when you go to relax or melt, it's too intense, you can't relax, it means the pose is too intense. Take it down a notch. For some bodies, this needs to be very subtle in order to be appropriate. Maybe an inch height rather than a big block. A tiny roll of a blanket could be enough, and that's okay. If you want to stay here longer, you're welcome to. If you're ready to release, one gentle way of doing so is to interlace fingers behind the head, lift the chin to the chest, taking the pressure off, and then move your stuff out of your way. Roll down. And just take a moment feeling the effect of where you just were, how it is to breathe, to be here now. And then I'm going to suggest a supported bridge next. So you might place your props under your sacrum. Could be a couple blocks, could be whatever you used last time, books, bolster, foam roller. Many different things could work. Make sure that the block is low enough so it's not at the lower back, encouraging arch in the lower back, but a little bit lower, top of the buttocks, to encourage length through the lower back and length through the front of the hips. And we'll do a little hip flexor stretch here. So bring the right knee to the chest, grab hold of it with one or both hands, and then straighten the left leg, the other leg, and let it hang towards the floor. So the front of the left leg gets a nice opening. And the more you hug your right knee in, the more you let that left leg hang, the more of an opening there could be at the front of the left hip. let's release. Grab the left knee, straighten the right leg. Let the front of the right hip yawn open. So the nice thing of remembering this context that it's not only about change and progress, that it's about acceptance of the fullness of what it's like to be in this body, including all the limitations, is that it makes those harder poses easier to be with. I discovered early on I have really tight hip flexors. So much in me is naturally flexible. So if I didn't have an understanding about that second part of the context, I might avoid what's tight because I have all these other things where I'm making progress. It's really easy for me to get the goal. So I'll just skip those parts that highlight what is challenging. And then my tighter places just get tighter. My open places just get more open, more imbalance. So for me, it's really important to find those places that are tight, that are weak, that are imbalanced, uncertain, unknown, all the stuff I might want to avoid, and then bravely, patiently go towards them and practice allowing them to be there so that I don't keep getting tighter or weaker or more imbalanced. Yeah, and so I can bring more acceptance to the fullness of exactly how I am and how I'm not. When you feel even on the two sides, let's bring legs to neutral. So that could be both knees to the chest, it could be both feet on the floor, or it could be both legs straight, either along the floor or up in the air. And if at any point you want to adjust the height or placement of your block, feel free to do that. So come into some neutral shape where we can practice letting go fully. And whatever shape you're in probably requires just a very small amount of effort so you don't fall off your block. But how little effort can you bring? Can you keep stripping away? Taking a mental scan through your body and noticing places you're still holding on, and with an exhale, letting them go. If you'd like to stay where you are longer, you are welcome. If you're ready to release, do so on your own time. Checking in with your body. Do you need anything to wrap up this practice? Is there some pose or stretch or part of your body that could use some attention before coming into Shavasana? Take whatever time you need. When nothing else is needed, you can start getting your clothing and props in order. Maybe some self-massage if there's a part of your body that could use some help letting go. Eventually coming into stillness. Letting go into the floor. slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, gently waking your body up again. And let this movement increase gradually through your wrists and ankles, eventually stretching out through your arms and legs. When you're ready, bring your knees in. And roll to one side, pausing there for a moment. Use your hands to help you up to sitting. And bring hands together at the heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you have a good rest of your day. If you have any questions or requests for future classes or tutorials or anything, I'd love to hear from you. And thank you for supporting me in whatever ways you do, sharing what I'm doing, financial contributions. Very much appreciated.